Hi, I'm Joe with Gramophone in Timonium, Maryland, and today we're excited to be showing you a brand new product from Technics. And to help us work through the product, we're here with our friend Bill Voss of Technics.
Hi,
Bill,
Joe.
How are you?
Good to see you.
It's great to see you. You look like you're feeling good.
I'm ready. I'm ready for a nice presentation here with you. Thank you for inviting us to the event. Last night it was super turnout, and we're just very happy to be here to present the new SL-1200GR2 turntable. That was the first public showing of it, and we're very happy to be able to present that to your attendees at your event.
My understanding is you showed this to the press a few weeks ago, but last night at our Gramophone Live was the first actual showing to consumers, and from the reactions I was hearing, it went really well.
Got a lot of great comments, spun a lot of vinyl, had a nice listening session, and I think that's what everybody wanted to know, to hear what's so great about this new SL-1200.
So Bill, one of the things I'd love for you to share with our viewers, if you can, I don't know of any vendor who has an even more rich tradition of building turntables than Technics. So can you just tell us a little bit about all the things that have kind of led up to this culmination in technology that you're talking about today?
Sure, Joe. You know, Technics does have a heritage. The brand was born in 1965. A lot of people don't realize that. And interestingly enough, our first product was not a turntable. It was a two-way loudspeaker, two-way bookshelf loudspeaker, acoustic suspension, and we love to always tell that story, and it surprised a lot of people. But we became very well known in the turntable world in 1970, and if you think about what was happening with people's listening habits in 1970, they were listening to records, listening to the radio. You know, we didn't have streaming and CDs, or we didn't even have VCRs, so personal computers. This was the hobby. Everybody loved music, and that's how they got it, through records and through FM. And the DJs and the radio stations were spinning records 24/7. They're using belt drive turntables, rim drive turntables, idler drive turntables, and they needed to have service. They needed to have these turntables running. They usually have two turntables, and if one needed some service to replace a belt or replace a idler, clean up a lube a turntable or something like that, they lost use of the turntable. So Technics invented direct drive for turntables in 1970, and they brought it into some of these radio stations, said, let's take out your belt drive and drop this direct drive in there, and they never thought about servicing it or, you know, having to lose use of it again. And this is what the industry embraced that quite a bit, and it became very popular. So that was our claim to fame when we invented direct drive for turntables. So this led us in 1972 to make a more affordable model for with a tone arm and with a power supply and all that. The radio stations used just a dedicated drive system.
Right.
And this was called the SL-1200. It was the first SL-1200. It was born in 1972, and it became very popular with audiophiles and DJs, because DJ and DJism, turntablism, was born of that SL-1200 and the various iterations all the way up to the Mark 7 series today. And that 1200 series branched off more for audiophiles, some for professional DJs, some for radio station use, professional use, mastering facilities, things like that. So the 1200 has quite a heritage in that respect. And, you know, legend has it that there's been millions and millions of these 1200 series sold over the years. So the attention has been from, as I say, the audiophile community as well as the pro DJ community. And that's what we're so happy to still use this iconic platform as the design, even for our very latest model.
So Bill, let's start digging just a little bit deeper. Obviously there's a family legacy to the look of what you've done here, although I think arguably this is the coolest looking turntable in this series that you've done over all these decades. But maybe you can just tell us a little bit about, you've got certain things in specific areas on the turntable, and probably many of our viewers don't quite realize there's a reason why you want certain things in certain places.
Yeah. Well, thanks for pointing out your appreciation of the new style.
Oh, yeah.
We do love the new style. I call it the SL-1200 experience, because even if you're using one of the original models, there is a feel of using one and an experience in using one that no other turntable really has, that our heritage when it comes to that. So things like having this strobe etchings and having the strobe light to show you the actual pitch that is actually perfectly on scale.
Right.
And having everything so quickly at your fingertips. There's a lot of things here that have developed over the years since the original SL-1200 model, and they came from experiences with audiophiles and with pro DJs saying, you know, it would really be great if we could have that quicker start and quicker stop, and the ability to change speeds, and we'd like to have maybe a target light so that in a club we'd like to shine a little light across the record, and so we can see where to drop the stylus, and this light will give me that ability to see. If I don't have a light above the turntable like we have here, I can see where to put drop the stylus. And little things like this were born over time. This was not on the original SL-1200 model.
Right.
And the pro DJs like to adjust the pitch when they do some of their mixes and things like that. So there's something called a pitch fader, and you can adjust the speed variably on a fader, and you can fade up or down and pitch up to 16 times slower, 16 times faster. And as the turntable has 33, 45, and 78 RPM, we can run from 20 RPM to 90 RPM. So it's, you know, it's got a wide range of control if you're into that sort of thing, or if you need that for your production. So audiophiles might not need it unless they're playing the original Miles Davis kind of blue, which is supposedly 3% off. I'm not sure if it's a legend, it's really true, but you can verify it because you can adjust your pitch control for that. But it's one of those things that it's part of the experience, so you could just ignore it and it locks it. You can lock it in place. When the blue light is on, it's locked in, and you never have to think about it again. But it's always there for you to use if you need it.
Tell us a little bit about vertical tracking angle and kind of the iconic bubble that you've got on the dust cover.
Yeah, this is something that I think either DJs and audiophiles can appreciate, the ability to adjust for VTA. Some people call it VTA on the fly, but it's very easy to adjust a wide range to adapt for different cartridge height or different LP thickness, like 180 gram vinyl, 280 gram vinyl. And in doing so, the arm can be lifted so you have that parallel adjustment that needs to be made for proper tracking angle. And it can be adjusted for stylus rake angle if you're that into it. You know, it can also be used to adjust that. And part of the design accepts that height with this iconic bubble on here. So this part of all that is part of the original 1200 experience, as I like to call it. And another thing about it, if you don't mind me leaning in front, is interchangeable head shells is another part of the story of the original 1200 design. So you can easily switch up from one cartridge to another for, you know, sonic reasons, or because, you know, for like the qualities of one cartridge versus another. It's very easy in the case with the Ortophon cartridge I was using here is a 2M black. They make it in mono or stereo, and I can easily pop in the mono version, and because it weighs the same amount, I can easily, in 5-10 seconds, I can be ready to go without making additional adjustment. Other turntables, that could be an afternoon.
That could be an entire afternoon.
That's what people like about our turntables with interchangeable head shells.
So, Bill, we've touched a lot on the things that are in common with this decades-long history of this turntable for Technics, but now I want to make sure we tell the viewers a little bit about the big things that have changed, because this is a revolutionary model.
Yeah, Joe, what's new about this, as much as it does look similar to the other models that we have in the line, are that we've with the improvements in the new series of direct drive turntables from Technics. As I mentioned, we invented direct drive in 1970. That was the first generation of Technics direct drive. And in the late 70s, we introduced, when the SL-1200 Mark II, that was the birth of quartz lock, and that was the second generation of Technics direct drive. And when we came back with the 1200G at CES in I think that was 2016, we introduced the third generation, which was a coreless direct drive. All the legacy of Technics had direct drive motors, but the first to have a coreless direct drive were the ones that came out in the G model lineup since 2016. And that's third generation. So what we're calling this new system is the fourth generation in the GR2, and it's known as the Delta Sigma drive system. And Delta Sigma, the term comes from digital to analog convergence. As you know, our company is involved deeply with digital technology and our amplifiers and our network players. And as much as an analog device our turntable is, it's very digital in its control and capability. So the Delta Sigma drive system is the first new introduction, which the coreless motor was designed we removed the iron core from the motor to remove micro vibrations. And in doing that, we learned since 2016 that we can actually improve that. And we brought the improvement in this mid-tier model because you'll be able to hear these improvements very more easily with this than you would in some of the higher price models. And it was an opportune time to bring that out. And to support that, we updated the power supply. So it's a multi-stage power supply. And the multi-stage power supply is borrowed or adapted from our SL-1000. It's our flagship model, $20,000 turntable. So we have that technology in the power supply now. So the two combined give us just an incredible vinyl experience. And to hear, kind of go back, and I'm listening to all my old records again that I've heard many times, and I'm just enjoying the performance at this level and this price point, which, by the way, is a $2,200 retail price. And everything that we're offering in this really makes it quite a bargain, I think, at that. Let me share with you some of the little close-up functions of what all the capabilities of a 1200 experience are. And some of those things are the strobe light, which can be, it's your power switch. And as the turntable's turning, you'll be able to see the fluctuations in speed, which are adjustable through the variable pitch control. This is called a pitch fader. And if you're off, you can go plus or minus 8%, or double that. Now you're plus or minus 16%. And this would put you back to perfect 33 1/3 or 45 or 78. The speeds are adjustable right here, 33, 45, push both and you have 78. And it's a very powerful direct drive motor. I don't recommend filing your nails, but you could. And the quick start and stop is something we won't have. We're not actually playing the turntable, but the quick start and stop is a function of torque and braking. That Technics has an adjustment for that, which I'll take you a little closer and show you that in a sec. This is the vertical tracking area that tracking angle that we talked about, which can easily be adjusted. And it's on a screw type adjustment, so you can see the arm raised and lowered based on how you want to have your tracking angle set for your cartridge height, or if you want to adjust the VTA for different weight vinyl and different platter mats and things like that. So it's a nice feature to have. Some turntables, that's very complicated to set that up, so it's a function that Technics 1200 users really enjoy. I'm going to take the dust cover off, which, by the way, there's that bubble to accommodate that. This is part of the iconic look, and I'm just going to... That's a removable hinge dust cover. And this is the part that people like, is being able to change the head shell so easily. And I can have cartridges set up for mono or for 78 RPM or different sounds. I may like certain sounds of certain cartridges. I may have a moving coil cartridge on one head shell. I may have a moving magnet on another head shell, and it's very, very easy to do that with Technics. And you can also have different cartridges set up on different head shells with different geometries. So you may want to have 4 different geometries set up for your Technics turntable and see which ones you like best. So if you could put that over there, Joe, thank you. I'd like to take you a little closer and see what's underneath the hood. This can be adjusted without removing the platter, but I would like to show you with the platter off. So this system uses a single rotor Coreless drive system. This is the single rotor magnet, which completes the motor when it connects down there. And it's a very heavyweight die-cast aluminum platter with a bulk mount compound to eliminate any ringing. And thank you, Joe. What I would show you here is the ability to adjust torque and braking. And it's very easily, as I said, you can do this without removing the platter, but there's a high and a low setting. And if you just push one of those buttons, you'll see the blink will confirm that adjustment. If I want to adjust the braking to be slower or faster, I'll see the same thing with a blinking light to confirm that. So you may want to set your turntable up a little differently for your own personal use. So that's what we like to show. Another little thing that people appreciate is a 45 adapter. This is machined aluminum, very high quality machined aluminum 45 adapter. And the footers are all adjustable so that you can adjust and level the turntable out. And they can actually be removed if you'd like to replace them for any reason, but they absorb movement horizontally and vertically. It's not just a spring in there. and they're metal, high quality. And if I could show you the back, it's very difficult to see, but the cables for power, AC, and for RCA and ground are all interchangeable. So this turntable lends itself to all kinds of upgrades if you like to do that. It's a very tweakable turntable. Change platter mats, head shells. I know a company that makes a dampening trowel to put on the 1200. You can get a lot of different auto lift functions and things like that. So there's just a huge following, excuse me, around the 1200 series that we're so proud about. So it's an adventure with an SL-1200 to really enjoy.
So Bill, this is really exciting news, and I think just to maybe wrap up for our customers in Gramophone land, if you could talk a little bit about things like pricing, availability, warranty, and so forth, that'd be great.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. The 1200 SL-1200GR2 is going to retail for $21.99 in the US, and it's available in silver or black. And it looks beautiful either way. Some of the improvements, when you notice the black version, it has an all black finish on everything, even the tone arm, and really looks ideal. So the turntable comes with a 3-year parts and labor warranty, which is good, solid warranty, and many of the turntables from the original series are all still in use. Yes. So that's 40 years later, so I don't think you have to think too much about the warranty, but it's there to support you, of course. And we expect it to be in stores by the end of the year, by the end of December, and if you can come to your local Gramophone and give it a listen, they'll be happy to give you a nice demonstration of it. And I encourage you to get your ears on it and see what it's all about, because it's quite an exciting turntable. So thanks again for the opportunity to tell you all about it, Joe. Really appreciate that.
You're welcome, Bill. We appreciate your supporting us here at our event at Gramophone Live, and we also appreciate what I think you've communicated today is that this is a product that is both evolutionary and revolutionary, because you've taken literally 5 decades or more of improving a basic idea, but with a couple of really revolutionary changes now in terms of the drive system and the power supply that supports that drive system. For $2,200, I think this is really a good value, and I think a lot of the customers are going to really enjoy it.
Yeah, thanks for saying so, Joe. A lot of people look at the style and say, oh, it looks the same as that turntable I had, 30, 40 years ago. But truth is, material-wise and function-wise and performance-wise, it really is give it a test run and you'll see what we're listening to. So.
A pleasure to listen to.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for all of our upcoming highlights. You can learn more about these great products at Gramophone.com and shop Sky by Gramophone for secure checkout, fast and free shipping straight to your door. Visit our showrooms at Timonium, Columbia, and Gaithersburg, Maryland, and our amazing Experience Center in Timonium. Please visit our Kitchen and Design Center in Hunt Valley, too.
Thanks for supporting Gramophone. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you at our next video.